Hello everyone, I'm Lauren Collins and I'm a pelvic health physical therapist. So welcome back. Today we are going to talk about sex should be pleasurable. So many patients come into my office with the complaint of sex being painful. And oftentimes they had never realized that it wasn't something that should be pleasurable and that there shouldn't be pain. But in fact, that is the case. Sex should feel good. And the reason why this happens for many women is variable. But a lot of times, in the cases of sex being painful, we have found that the pelvic diaphragm muscles, those muscles in the pelvic floor, are tight. They're overactive and they're in what we call a shortened state. So for instance, if I use my biceps muscle again as an example, when my muscle is fully lengthened, my arm is straight. If it becomes shortened, well, now it's here, right? And I can't move past here, and I can only contract from here to here. So now it's shortened, it's harder, and it's weaker because it doesn't have the full range of motion. Well, our pelvic diaphragm muscles do that, and then they get trigger points and what we call trigger points. That's more of a general term that I'm using here now in this instance. But so they can refer pain and they can be spasmed and tight and just not be very comfortable for a lot of women. So part of the treatment is to get to these trigger points and to release them. Well, the other part of this is that when these muscles in our pelvic diaphragm get tight, the muscles in our hips and our thighs get tight as well. So one of the things we do to help relieve some of the tightness and the discomfort are to do some basic hip stretches. So today we are going to go through some basic hip stretches just to help get some better mobility in the pelvis and to help with the pelvic diaphragm muscles. Stretching these muscles is important in general too because, again, we've already discussed how pelvic mobility is very important for several functions: walking, going up and down stairs, just bending, all the things that you like to do. So here we go. I'm going to sit on my table because it's just kind of a better reference from me for right now to show you. And my chair I'm sitting on, I'm going to pretend like it's a stool on the floor. Okay, so here we go. So the first stretch that I am going to show you all is a seated hamstring stretch. Now I'm going to show you all the stretches from a seated position because that's a good position where most people, if they're at work or if they're at home or if they're out, there's usually somewhere to sit down where they can't get on and off the floor. There's usually somewhere to sit down where they can do these stretches pretty easily. So the first one, like I said, is a hamstring stretch. So for a basic seated hamstring stretch, what you can do is come kind of to the edge of your chair. You're going to put your leg right out in front of you with your toes pointed up. So I'm going to lift up so you can kind of see better. My legs like this, but my heels on the floor or on the chair here. And then keeping your back straight, because this is the important part. You're going to keep your back straight and you're going to lean forward until you feel a stretch come through the back of your thigh and into the back of your calf. You're going to hold that stretch for about 30 to 60 seconds. We want to hold it minimally for at least 30 seconds because we want to give that muscle the length or the memory of the lengthening, okay? And when I say hold it for 30 seconds, I don't mean 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We're not counting that fast. We're going like 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, right? So we get the full 30 seconds. You're going to do that on both sides to help get that hamstring muscle stretched out. Now, all these muscles, like I said, connect up into the pelvis somehow. So the hamstring comes up and attaches right into that sits bone, which is part of your pelvis. Another muscle we want to stretch are the muscles on the insides of our hips. They're insides of our thighs, They're called our hip AD, as in dog, adductors. So this way, you just put a stool out to the side, or if you don't have a stool, you can put your foot on a leg. You can put your leg on the floor out to the side. Excuse me today. I think I'm a little tired. But you're going to take your leg and you're going to put your heel on the ground, leg out to the side. And again, keeping your back straight, you're going to lean forward until you feel that stretch come into your inner thigh. Now with these stretches, it's always very important that you keep your back straight, okay? If you round your back up, all you're going to do is stretch your back. You're not really stretching the muscles attached to your pelvis. So you're going to keep your back flat so that you can feel that stretch happening. Okay, that's stretch number 2. Stretch number 3 is a piriformis stretch, and that stretch is a stretch for the muscle in your butt. And what you're going to do is you're going to make a figure 4 like this. And then again, you're going to lean forward, keeping your back straight until you feel that stretch happen into the back of the butt on the side that's up on top, okay? Again, holding all these stretches for 30 to 60 seconds, and you should do all these stretches on both sides. Another way to kind of get to the piriformis muscle and to also get to a little bit more of the butt and outer thigh is to pull the knee across, keeping your back straight. You can turn into your leg a little bit here. Again, the key too is keeping your back straight. You don't want to put yourself in a bad posture. Also, when you're doing these stretches, keep your head in alignment with the rest of your spine. I know I was looking up a little bit so I could talk to you on the screen, but ideally you want to keep your head in alignment with your spine. Hold this stretch, again, for 30 to 60 seconds. And the last stretch I'm going to show you is one to get to opens up your chest, but also gets into your abdominals just a little bit. Arms behind your back, and then arching up here, okay? And it's good to do like a pec stretch, because when everything kind of caves in, that can affect all the pressure and down to your pelvis as well. And we kind of sit like this a lot as well, or a lot of people do. So let's work on stretching out those pecs and the abdominals just a little bit, okay? Again, holding that for 30 to 60 seconds. Okay, you're going to do all these stretches on both sides. Excuse me. You're going to do all these stretches on both sides, right and left, holding for 30 to 60 seconds, and try and get them in like once a day to start noticing how you feel in your pelvis and your thighs, and even in your pelvic diaphragm muscles. I hope these tips help. We'll be talking more again about pelvic pain and about other exercises to help get these muscles more relaxed. And I look forward to seeing you and talking to you all soon. Have a blessed one. Bye. Oh, almost forget, if you want to follow me, you can follow me on Twitter, Lauren at Vital Self. Or if you want to follow me on Facebook, I'm Vital Self Physical Therapy, LLC. And my website is www.vitalselfpt.com. Okay, that's really it. Thanks, everyone. Have a blessed one. Bye.